Yeah, it's something that's been in development for a while. We always have been able to take a vehicle to customers, but quite frankly, most people like to come down to a dealership. With COVID, a lot of people don't want to come down to the dealership, so we're actually saying don't. If you want to purchase a vehicle or test drive a vehicle, you can reach out to us in any way you want, either via phone, email, fax. We have multiple points on our website to contact us. A lot of people are reaching out to us through Facebook as a normal course of business nowadays. And we'll set up to bring the vehicle to you. We'll allow you to test drive the vehicle for an hour or a day, however you feel you need. Further to that, we will make sure the vehicle is properly sanitized. And then the biggest thing, though, is that we can facilitate an entire transaction with a customer without the customer actually coming to our store, which is a very big shift from the way the car industry has been. We always have, if you've reached out to us and want to buy a car, our first instinct is come on down and we'll, try to sell you a car and you'll try to buy a car. Now you can do that, and we encourage that, but we also encourage that you don't come down. And if you don't want to come to the store, we can facilitate it very easily. All the things that we need. It's actually quite simple to purchase a vehicle, and even on our website, you can go through the whole process of selecting a vehicle, getting approved for credit without even talking to somebody. So it's ever evolving. It's getting in it very soon. It'll get to the point where you can sign all your documents without even talking to anybody. And that's kind of the vision. There's still some challenges with legalities of documents, but we have workarounds and we can really easily do it. But we really want to encourage people, if you do feel uncomfortable coming to a retail store, coming to our store, you don't have to. All you have to do is raise your hand and contact us in any way, shape, or form, and we will facilitate the process and the purchase quite easily and conveniently.
Interesting. A lot of people say, hey, can you buy a car, cradle to grave online, and you have the sites like Carvana and stuff like that. And it's interesting because this pandemic has forced a lot of businesses to, streamline this to online. What do you think that's going to look like for you from the dealer perspective and then the customer and the consumer perspective going forward? Do you think after everything, quote unquote, goes back to normal, business goes back to the way it was before, or do you think that the way you're doing business before, that's gone now? There's definitely going to be modifications in the future.
Yeah, I think it's an evolution. I think the way that the business has been done will stay. But I think our ability to help the process is ever becoming more digitized. I do feel that people can do much of the the discussion about what to buy, what's your trade-in worth, valuing trades, valuing the back and forth of what's the best payment kind of thing, and providing information is more and more can be done offsite. So I think that's going to be the biggest, and already is in a lot of jurisdictions in Canada, the United States. It's becoming the norm. I think it will help consumers in that respect because they can transact and they can do things on their own time with convenience. At the end of the day, there are a percentage of people that they do want to come down and drive a vehicle and touch it and just come into a store and purchase a product. But there's also a lot of people that don't. And kind of we're at a place where we can kind of do both. We're able to do both and we're getting better and better. So really what's going to happen is it's just going to evolve to a point where most transactions are kind of going to be a blend of most of the I guess the legwork, the grunt work will be done where you don't even come into the store, and then maybe you just come down to pick up the vehicle. That could be the last time. You might actually not meet a salesperson until you actually come to pick up the vehicle.
Interesting. Yeah, that's crazy. So the whole sales process, because it's like, a lot of a lot of people still do like to touch and feel like a vehicle, prior to purchasing.
They do.
And we call that mental ownership. But, digitally, because people are online, you're trying to establish some sort of mental ownership digitally, whether it's video, pictures, descriptions of the vehicles and stuff like that. Are you finding that people are adapting to the fact that maybe they're not going to get that, touchy-feely as much as they were able to get before? Is that hindering kind of their excitement, or are they kind of saying, no, I actually maybe might prefer this, or are we kind of split, you know?
I think it's split. I think there's a percentage of people that still want touchy-feely and still want a traditional, you know, I want to buy something today, what do you got? Let's go through that process. But there's a lot of people that do all their decision-making processes online prior to even reaching out to us. And then when comes time to actually purchase the vehicle, they just want to get it done. And they just want to, you know,
quick,
let's go.
You
know, I see this as a vehicle. I see it's 0%. What else is there to know? Let's just get this done. And in that case, the digital tools allow us to kind of get it done and facilitate that. And I think it'll get better and better and better as the months and maybe the year goes along. We'll just get better at it. And so I think, you know, the old school way, if you phoned a car dealership, you know, even last year, 2 years ago, and said, hey, I got a trade in, what's it worth? Our reaction is bring it down. And or else we're not going to look at, you know, now it's kind of like, oh, great, done, you know, send pictures, you know, what can we do? And we just start the process. And it's a normal thing now. You know, and whereas before it was, you have to bring the vehicle down. Now it's, we'll do whatever you want to do, Mr. Customer, and we'll facilitate it. And I think there's a little bit of learning on both sides, especially when you come into, you know, vehicle presentations, video chats. Some people are very adept at it and some people are not. So that's where, you know, some customers are very, very skilled at it and other customers aren't. So we are learning with them and we are evolving with our customers.
Interesting. No, great perspective there. So in short, if somebody wants to buy a vehicle, you'll bring the vehicle to them. They can test drive it. They can hang out with the vehicle for a few hours or afternoon. And if they like it, technically you could do everything without them even having to walk.
Technically, they don't even have to come in at all, as long as we can verify who they are. And that's really, they don't even have to come to the store.
So everybody listening, how can they access this program, Virtual Test Drive? What do they call in, text in, visit the website? What's the easiest way for them to
the easiest way, you know, go to our websites, fill out a request a test drive form, which is a form, but it comes to our internet team right away, and they'll reach out to the person and facilitate the best time, ask a few questions about who they are, and we get the process going.